Hello viewers, it's Marianne from Revealing Light Tarot. How are we all today? It is Sunday morning here at the moment and I don't normally read I thought there was just something behind me. I don't normally read on a weekend, well on a Sunday anyway, but I thought I'd jump on because of the situation in the US at the moment. My previous reading on Friday evening, which was done very quickly as soon as I got the news that that Donald Trump and Melania had COVID. Of course, now there's a stack of them that attended the event for Amy Coney Barrett in the Rose Garden. There's a stack of them now gone down with a positive test for COVID, including Chris Christie, who is in a high-risk group and has also tested positive. He prepped Trump for the debate. So he's gone to hospital, but there is really a question mark about did he have COVID at the time of the debate, and if so, apparently they arrived late, they weren't tested, and they were maskless throughout that actual debate, Trump's family. So the question is, did they know at the time that he had COVID? Now, my reading on Friday night showed a few things. It showed that he was actually sick, that it wasn't a hoax, and that with that Eight of Wands there, that he would decline fairly rapidly. Events have borne that out. He wasn't allowed to convalesce at the quarantine and convalesce at the White House. He was taken to Walter Reed Hospital in a helicopter, and things got a bit dramatic. His physician isn't telling the truth. That was the other thing that my reading showed, that we just would not get the truth on his condition. Why? Because this is a president who showed blatant disregard for the pandemic from the start, that did not take precautions, that did not lead by example, that now we're finding out knowingly infected those at a fundraiser, because he knew some 72 hours earlier that at the time that his physician released that statement, he referred to 72 hours. The course of Trump's illness started 72 hours prior, which indicates that he knew before the fundraiser and before those rallies that he was COVID positive. So this is it's a disaster for the Trump campaign. Apparently sources show that Pence was on the phone and said, we've just got to keep our head down and stay in the fight. So my reading showed on Friday night the events that have apparently unfolded since then. Now, I do want to say something about conspiracy theories. A lot of responses about Trump not having COVID, and this was a deep cover so that he could flee to Russia. I just want to be mindful that, sometimes I have to pull myself up and check myself and say, am I straying into tin foil hat territory? And I check myself and I go, no, I have to have faith in the knowledge that is coming out, the hard work by the journalists. Had it not been for Jennifer Jones at Reuters, at Bloomberg's, apologies to Jennifer, at Bloomberg's, we would not have known that Trump had COVID. So the hard work of the journalists continually, working their sources, digging. I know how hard they work. And so we have to go with the information that's being presented by reliable and trustworthy news sources. My intuition tells me Trump has COVID and he's very, very sick. And I will say it on here now. There is a possibility, Spirit spoke when I opened up for this reading. I asked, could Trump die? There is a possibility that he could actually pass away. Okay, so, but we are not, absolutely not getting the truth of his condition, and we are even not getting the truth on who is actually running America. I just want to say also to those that call Trump the leader, or any American president the leader of the free world, which includes somehow American ownership of the world I live in, because we're talking Western democracies, they are absolutely wrong. Trump is not the leader of the free world. We have our own prime ministers, we have our own allies, we have our own set of coalition partners. So I just wanted to say that because it irks me every time they say it. Trump is not the leader of the free world. He is the current president of the United States. All right, so let's have a look. And I must say, if he is being referred to as the leader of the free world, he's not doing a very good job, is he? All right, so now I've had my rant. I think I've checked off now on my irritation at calling Trump the leader of the free world. I've talked about conspiracy theories. I've also gone back over my reading and talked about that it wasn't a hoax. It showed he was declining very rapidly, and that we wouldn't get the truth on the extent or the seriousness of his illness. Okay, their campaign is in disarray. Now I've got a few questions to go through, and we'll see how we go. I may not get to them all, but we'll see. We'll ask how sick he is and will he recover. Before I started this, I got some pretty heavy cards. We'll also see what the Republicans are doing with the campaign. We'll check in on Biden again. We'll also ask, did he know at the debate he had COVID? Do any of his supporters now believe that COVID is not a hoax because those outside the hospital waiting for him are masked up? A good many are masked up now, whereas before they wouldn't. I do want to look at Bill Barr. Kellyanne Conway has tested positive for COVID, and she was in a very intimate conversation with Bill Barr at that Rose Garden event. Now, shame on Judge Amy Coney Barrett for proceeding with a nomination under these circumstances. Shame on her. She will go to the Senate. Senators, 2 senators have been affected, tested positive. It's doubtful even that this nomination will go ahead. But shame on her for not pulling out. All right, so let's have a look. Some are saying that Justice Bader Ginsburg is protecting the US from heaven, and I don't doubt that at all. This is all, as I said on Friday, it all has a ring of karma. It all has a ring of divine timing. So trust that. All right, how sick is Trump? Now, the reason that these cards can be a little bit ambiguous, that we've got to work a bit harder to get to the truth, is because of the amount of deception around the true state of Trump's health. So let me just tune in, reconnect with spirit after my intro. Okay. Show me the true extent of Trump's health. So I'm seeing a heart monitor. He could even be on a ventilator and we wouldn't know. All right, show me the true. And they are planning for contingencies. I saw that very clearly. There are multiple roundtable discussions. I know families aren't allowed to see those in the COVID ward, but I do feel his family will be allowed in to see him. So let's have a look at. Yeah, certainly Ivanka and Jared may go in and see him. So let's have a look at the true extent. Okay, 5 of Pentacles. We've got loss here. And that is the overall situation that we find ourselves in, or that he finds himself in, that the Republicans find themselves in. This is a huge loss and a huge desperation moment for them. Show me the true extent. I still keep getting that he could pass away. Show me it's just a phrase that keeps echoing in my head. He could die. Okay, so show me the true extent of Trump's health or illness, COVID illness. Show me the true extent of Trump's COVID illness. Show me the true extent of Trump's COVID illness. There are a lot of people around his bed. That's what I'm seeing. A lot of medical personnel. So we have the King of Pentacles coming out straight away. Ironically so, the King of Pentacles. Let's see what's crossing him. Endings and beginnings. Yeah, this could be the end of Donald Trump. And this is just my interpretation of my cards, and I don't want to hear how somebody else said something differently. This is my channel, my reading, my intuition. It's showing a huge closing of a cycle for the King of Pentacles, and that's what my intuition is telling me. The Seven of Swords as the foundation of the reading. This is, again, lies and deception around the true extent of his illness. That is the foundation of the reading. But this is also showing me a karmic perspective as well. It's almost like those lies have come back to haunt him. It's a hoax. It'll go away. You know, all of the things that we've heard him say about COVID, I'll make a point here, this is telling me very strongly his lies and his deception have caught up with him. And I say that very objectively. Without malice, it's a conclusion. It's a conclusion that his lies and his deception, as the King of Pentacles, which is the archetype for Donald Trump, the businessman, they have caught up with him. The Knight of Swords in the past. Now, I said earlier on that Jennifer Jones from Bloomberg had to work really hard to get this truth out. We may not have heard about it otherwise. More truth will come out in the next week or so because, you know, there are huge questions being asked about that Rose Garden confirmation party event. And was he positive? Did he know he had COVID at that debate? He was extremely red-faced, more than usual. Normally he is orange. You know, he could have been running a fever even then. All right, let's have a look. Okay, so in the sky, we've got defend. He's got to defend himself. Now, what's he... defend himself from everything that I've covered so far about his wanton disregard for other people's safety and his deception around COVID coming back to hurt, to bite. Of course it would, just like Boris Johnson in the UK. But this is also defending his own life, working hard to stick around. It's also others too trying to assist him. Now, on Friday, I saw him in the bed. I felt that others would be doing the work around him. When they say Trump is up working, doing the business of America, it's a lie. It's a lie. He's not. He's bedridden. And of course, then somebody will slip up and say he was able to get out of bed today and doctors are encouraging him to eat. Well, where does the truth lie? He is in bed, Four of Swords. This is somebody who is wounded, sick. This is my Four of Swords card. It's in the immediate future. He is defending. He is fighting. They are trying to make sure that he doesn't deteriorate further. Now, I feel there is a chance he can pass away. The King of Wands. Okay, the King of Wands, leadership. Leadership in the here and now is really in question. Who is in charge? Who is actually in charge? Because it's not Donald Trump. The Knight of Pentacles. Now, this is a slowing down of leadership. So, without a doubt, Americans have very serious questions to ask those around Trump because you are not getting the truth. You are not getting the truth. They're trying to save the campaign. They're trying to defend their actions around COVID. This is a nightmare scenario for them. I just want to say for the record, I hope he doesn't pass away for a lot of reasons. I think he should face the election because I feel he will lose the election. But there is a question mark now, and spirit will always come in like that, always come in. And it's also that Uranus energy as well, when you're least expecting it. Let's see what's in the hopes and fears. The Hanged Man. Something stopping. That Hanged Man came up before in the Friday reading. Now we have the Eight of Cups. There is, I think it's been said by one of his doctors that I think it was a White House source or spokesperson said that there is no clear path to Donald Trump's recovery at this point. We've got the Eight of Cups, we've got loss, we've got somebody walking away. Now, those that have been following my readings for some time know that these two cards have come up time and time again. There is a loss here. There is a loss. No clear path for his future at this time. We have the Magician card, so manifesting something into reality. And we've got our higher source, the Hierophant card. So, a lot of loss here for Donald Trump. I'm going to draw some clarifiers as well. This is somebody that abused his power, without a doubt. And it is a nod to, I guess not a nod, but a note that we need to consider just what Spirit's involvement is in all of this. Now we have insecurity at the base of the pack, abuse of power, insecurity, restriction, and a balance. Of course, when you get those situations, you have to move toward a balance coming into something. So we have the Queen of Cups, a revelation coming forward, and here I have my reunification, my Democrat card. So things are still on track after the abuses of Donald Trump for there to be a change of government. Now I'm using my Good Witch Tarot. I'll put the decks in the drop down menu, and I'm now going to clarify with my Prisms Tarot, which looks a bit like Vincent van Gogh's paintings. The Moon card, secrets, deception. You're in a period of illusion and deception around your president's health and around his current state. So Eight of Cups, there's a loss here. What is being manifested? The Hierophant card, a higher source. It's almost like this Hierophant is saying, I will always have the last say. So let's have a look at the Eight of Cups. Don't expect things to be straightforward here. We've got a divine intervention here. So show me the Eight of Cups. Show me the Eight. Show me the Eight of Cups. So we have the Page of Chalices. We've got a bombshell. This is the Page of Cups. We've got surprise news and a bombshell around that Eight of Cups. We've got the Nine of Wands, and this card came out before I started the reading. Battle weary, and the Three of Wands. There's a wait here for something to be announced. I feel at the base of the pack we have the Star. And again, we have the World. So understanding that this situation is coming to a close. All right, as we move toward the election and your electoral processes, people are already voting. Let's have a look at this Hierophant card. See what she has to tell us. Okay. The Lovers, of course, is the card for Donald Trump. Okay, this one wants to come out, and we've got the Seven of Pentacles, review of his future, I feel, and again the Four of Swords. Okay, what this is telling me is that he may not even be back on his feet within 2 weeks. That's what this is telling me. The Republicans will have to look at options because this Four of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, review, and we've got the Lovers, of course, which is Donald Trump's card. it could mean a lot of things too. It could mean some people are now saying this president is so foolhardy. There is so much more with that deception card there as the foundation of the reading. There's so much more to come out around when he was diagnosed, what he knew. And of course, the biggest thing of all, taking off the masks. Some would even say, did he deliberately try and infect Joe Biden? I wouldn't put that past him. All right, so let's have a look at, it's showing loss. It's showing the Republicans having to regroup, because I don't think this is going to be a quick recovery for him. I think it is. I think he's a lot sicker than what they're telling us, and there is deception all around. So we know that he tested positive before he went to the fundraiser. What does that tell you? The desperation for donations, for campaign donations. All right, so a big money donation event, $250,000, I think, a head. So he turned up there with no regard for anyone else in that room. Okay, so let's ask, was he positive? Was he positive at the debate? Did he know? Did Trump know? So I'm feeling he had COVID symptoms at the debate. So he probably had an inkling. Did Trump know that he had COVID during the debate? Did Trump know? He's tested every day. Did Trump know that he had COVID at the debate? Temperance, balance. Okay, so temperance, balance. I feel he had a temperature. He knew he had a temperature. They knew he had a temperature, because I feel that they would have taken his temperature. Yeah. He was crossed by fatigue and symptoms of COVID at that debate. The fool, yes, at the foundation of the reading. Okay, so what was in the past? The 9 of Cups, wishing for a miracle. His campaign is disastrous. Everything is fine. In the sky. Maybe that's what they were telling themselves as his temperature raged. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. One last card. Yeah, he wanted victory. So I think he did have symptoms at that debate. And, maybe they took his temperature with that temperance card, tried to bring it down. But I think there was an inkling that he was sick even at that debate. Okay, so that truth is yet to come. He wanted to keep campaigning at the base of the pack, and we've got an abuse of power. Now, I want to say this. Donald Trump is scared. When I saw him leave, and this is another reason why I know he's sick, because I'm an empath. I'm pretty good at reading people generally. I would hope so, because I'm an intuitive. But when he gave that speech and his face was pale, not orange, you could hear, if you listened closely, you could hear the breathlessness. And as he walked out to that helicopter, that sources say the reason that they took him when they did is because they were worried that if they waited any longer, he would have to be brought out in a wheelchair. When I looked at his face, I saw real fear. Fear, anxiety, heavy anxiety and fear. So, apparently he was running a temperature, and he was saying, am I going to die like this good friend of his that passed from COVID in New York? So he was scared, the sorts of things that you would say if you were worried that you would die. So let's have a look. That last sentence, I will never forget it, sounded to me also like somebody that was the sort of things you would say to people who are supporting you when the chips are down. So it was Donald Trump. Show me was Donald Trump scared when he got his COVID diagnosis? Was Donald Trump scared when he got his COVID diagnosis? Justice. So basically, he absolutely was. He was scared because at some level he thought, am I going to die? Is this some kind of karma here. He was also worried about the Supreme Court nomination, that he wouldn't get his pick there. And of course, challenging the election would then be less successful in his mind. He was also worried that if he lost the election, there was no way he could stop justice coming. So yes, justice. He was scared that justice was coming. And we've got the Ten of Pentacles, the Trump organisation. So yeah, he was scared that he might pass away, but he was scared that he would get so sick he could not continue to fight. And of course that would mean that the election would be lost. I think he was particularly scared about his nomination not getting through. So now I want to take a look at, okay, all right, let's just a few cards. We'll maybe do some rapid questions because I don't want this reading to be too long. That's what I always say. We'll bring the laptop down and we'll do some rapid questions. Okay, so show me how are the Republicans... Heavy choices for the Republicans. How are the Republicans feeling about their campaign and about what might happen in the future? How are the Republicans feeling about their campaign with Donald Trump in the hospital with COVID? How are they feeling? Okay, the Two of Cups, their leader. They're not going to get the crowds. They're challenged by luck, bad luck, because this is in the challenged position. They're challenged that something shifted, not in their favour. Okay, the Queen of Wands, they're worried about a Democratic win. The Queen of Wands comes forward. This is the inspired, the women, the inspired campaign. They're worried. They're worried about a Democratic win. The Ace of Pentacles in the past, the campaign fund donations, worried about that, not getting enough money. Six of Swords in the sky, that's moving on. They're worried that they won't be able to move on from this. But I also feel when I look at this card that this is a healing card as well. So I think they're worried that he won't heal. But they're also, again, with the Knight of Cups, wanting to come out and get those wins. So really, what they're worried about winning the election and that Trump will not be around to assist. We have the Eight of Wands, things overtaking them very quickly. They're kind of shocked. They're kind of shocked at the speed at which this has come forward. They're also worried about that nomination. Okay, so everything rests on getting that nomination through. Okay, so travel. People not being able to travel and people being quarantined. Okay, so let's have a look at Barr. Let's have a look at Barr. Now, I've always seen ill health for Barr as well. I get some, in the past, I've got some shocking cards for him. He was up close and personal with Kellyanne Conway. It's like, of course he's going to get COVID. It's highly contagious. He was right up very close to her. So let's have a look. Look, there are so many people at that Rose Garden event who have now come down with COVID, including Trump's campaign manager. So, Bill Barr, he's not quarantining. Has Bill Barr got, or will Bill Barr get COVID? Has or will Bill Barr get COVID? Has or will Bill Barr get COVID? I'm seeing somebody being flattened. I'm seeing a picture going through a press, and I think he will be flattened. I think that's what Spirit is saying to me. With a sense of humour, a wry sense of humour. Okay, show me. Has or will Bill Barr get COVID? Okay, the Knight of Wands would appear that possibly he will, and that it will affect his ability to really do too much. He's challenged by his ability to put a plan into action. Okay, he's lying and deceiving. So if he says he hasn't got it, you can take it again that he probably has. So at the root of everything, as with Trump, there's lies and deception here. In the past, we've got the King of Pentacles, which is interesting that Donald Trump is in the past. It could even be Trump gave it to him, not Kellyanne, Trump. So the King of Wands in the sky, he wants to push ahead with that nomination, but it's also leadership. Page of Pentacles, so his power will be reduced in some way. That's only one pentacle. The Star, okay, we can have hope, I think, that he will be flattened. We do have the Truth coming out, though, even if he tries to hide it. We've got the Ace of Swords, and we've got surprise news, and we've got this Eight of Cups. So this is linking back to the King of Pentacles. A decision needing to be made, and we do have the Death card. So, if Bill Barr, I think Bill Barr will get COVID. I think he will try and lie about it. But what is affecting Donald Trump is now impacting on Barr. Okay, one more question. Actually, no. We'll pull some energy cards. I wanted to look at the Trump supporters. Are some of them a little bit more scared now? You know, we always get this, it's not any more contagious than the flu nonsense. Despite the stories, there's a beautiful orb there. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so they have the orbs today, have a beautiful soft quality about them, like gossamer. I'm feeling a real gentleness around today. Even though we're in the midst of an absolute storm, I feel calmness as well. I do want to just check in with Biden, given those cards that we get for Trump and Barr. But Biden has tested negative. He and his wife have tested negative to COVID. Is Biden okay? Given that we know Trump probably had symptoms at the debate. Is Biden okay? Yes, I'm feeling yes, he is. Okay, so we get the Ten of Swords, though, which is a bit of a worry. It's the card of, it's the card of downfall. I have to read it, but it's challenged by the Hierophant. These are just signifier cards. So we've got the Ten of Cups, something coming to an end, and we've got the challenge being the Hierophant, the divinity that's in this situation. The Chariot card in the Foundation, things moving very, very quickly. The King of Cups, okay, so Biden's turned up in his own reading in the past position, so we know he's here. Strength and endurance, okay, so if, for example, he did get COVID, he would pull through and survive. Both he and Trump's name is on the ballot. So, yes, strength and endurance is in the sky. But we do have the Tower here in the near future for Biden, so I'm going to go with a full Celtic cross now. We have the Seven of Pentacles, so this is review, going back to the drawing board, and we have the Four of Swords, of course, which is illness in the environment around him. So it's not necessarily saying he's ill, it's saying that there is illness in this, overshadowing this whole campaign. In the hopes and fears, we've got my card for the Democrats. So be hopeful. Be patient, the Two of Wands, next to the Strength card. And we have Temperance. Okay, so balance and moderation. The Six of Wands. Okay, so we have moving out of troubled waters. I'm not seeing a card here that is suggesting to me that Biden won't be the next president, nor that he would, succumb to COVID. If with this Ten of Swords and the Tower card, there is something coming up that will test him without a doubt. But the outcome cards don't show me that he has COVID or will get COVID. It shows me something is going to really test him in the near future. The Emperor card, which is my card for the presidency, Donald Trump, we have the endings and beginnings. It's something coming to an inevitable end. We have the High Priestess, secrets being kept, and a huge crossroads and decisions that need to be made. What would happen? So the Six of Wands, is victory. The Six of Wands is victory. So again, he's got victory in December. Right, so what is this Tower card? If it's not going to be for his ill health, what is this Tower card? I think things are unfolding as we go. So let's have a look at this Tower card. What is this Tower card here? The Star. Okay, keep your thoughts positive around this question. My outcome cards don't show that he has COVID. I have strength in the sky, but I do see the tower moment. Is this tower moment generally for what is unfolding in America at the moment? Is this Tower card? Oh, that's a lot of cards, so I can't take them. Is this Tower moment for what is unfolding at the moment that will impact on Biden? You know what I think that is? The Knight of Swords, the truth coming forward. You know what I think that is? I think that President Trump's campaign is in disarray. Trump could be so ill he won't be able to campaign again. There is a possibility this president could pass away, which would leave everything in absolute chaos. There are calls for the election to be delayed, and I feel Biden has to come out very strongly. I know that's not going to be the case, that constitutionally that election has to go ahead. So remain positive. There are difficult times coming up for Joe Biden, without a doubt, but ultimately he is still getting this Six of Swords and this Temperance energy, and of course the Two of Wands, which would indicate there is a plan. Be patient. There is a win in December coming for Joe Biden, but he's going to be tested in some way. Okay, so what else do we need? He might have to quarantine himself, and that will affect his campaigning. But there will be these very strong calls to delay the election, of course, which will fall on deaf ears. But he and Harris have to really negotiate some troubled waters coming up. All right, I did want to, now that we're into the end of the reading, I did want to draw some energy cards, final messages from Spirit. We have some very rough water, have had and will continue to have rough water in the US. And of course that puts the world on rocky footing as well, has done for the last 3.5, nearly 4 years. We are closing down this cycle. Are we surprised about what karma and divine timing and the Hierophant is telling us? These are the times that we have to have faith. Okay, so show me what we need to know, Spirit. So I have companionship, love, animals, the natural world. Isn't that funny? It would give me that card 21. This is about the individual, and it's about finding, noticing what's around you, noticing the world, the natural world around you, taking comfort in everything that is around you, as opposed to everything that's external to you. Cleansing storms, understanding that this is a cleansing. We're on the home straight now, and this is a cleansing. And yes, it's going to get rough, but we're coming to the end. We've got building here. This is like the Six of Swords. This is like healing, moving on, moving out of troubled waters and rebuilding something again at the cellular level. One more card, please. what you think, what you believe is what you attract. So please be mindful of your thoughts. Look to the future. Look to what we're building here. Look to what you're building even in your own personal circumstances, and be aware of your manifestation ability. Okay, richness, marine life. I'm still getting a big pull to the natural world, and being silent, going within, and understanding that even in the worst of times, we have endurance. We have that card, that strength and endurance card that was in the sky in Biden's reading, strength and endurance. All right, I'll leave that there, and I'll be back again next week with some another reading. We might look at the month ahead, I think, week by week. All right, thank you for tuning in.